Did you see this? Quebec?
Oh, I didn't know. I thought your throuple was Musk, Carney, and Trump.
No, multi-parent families like Throuples to be granted legal rights in Quebec. I guess for French people do that all the time. A recent court ruling in Quebec has granted multi-parental families in the province the same legal rights as any other unit. A Quebec Superior Court judge ruled on Friday that limiting the legal affiliation of children to one or two parents is unconstitutional. Lawyer Marc-Andre Landry, who represented one of the families involved in the case, explains the ruling does not apply to step parents or other modern families that are formed after a child is born. Rather, it applies to a situation where a family has multiple adults involved in a relationship before the child's conception. In other words, Landry notes, the parental project needs to be in place prior to the child's creation. It's not about step parents or other potential realities. It's about three people sitting together and saying we should have a child together, he explains. No one should be treated differently because of their family status. There were three families who were a part of the case, according to Landry. The first constitutes a throuple, 3 adults, a man and 2 women in a relationship with 4 children among them. Let me guess, Muslims. The second involves a lesbian couple and a male donor who wished to be a part of the child's life as a father figure. I feel like that's not a throuple. That's just like a weird side deal you guys got to work out on your own. I mean,
Yeah,
does the state really need to be involved in that? The third involves a woman with infertility who allowed her husband to have a child with a friend who asked to remain on as a mother. I mean, this sounds like a bunch of fucking jumping through hoops to explain that you pass legislation for Muslims, doesn't it?
No. There's been.
I mean, the picture is 2 dudes and a chick, but
Well, it doesn't matter. There's been a polyamorous movement for a long time now. I mean, there's a whole
community with Muslims and their multiple wives.
Well, yeah, that's fine. People should be able to do what they want.
I don't want to be paying 3 chicks for fucking child benefits.
Well, I mean, maybe that's got to. How do you know that's a reality? I mean,
well, what do you think happens next, buddy? Those families do exist, no matter what people may think, said Landry. I feel like there's not enough of them to need laws. Like they could just figure it out.
Exactly. Just figure it on your own. I mean, especially the guy that's just going to donate and he wants to be a part of the life of with the two dykes. I mean, come on, just figure it out.
Get out of here, buddy. I mean,
he's going to get pushed out.
Oh, yeah. This ain't going to last. Landry calling the move a major change in our collective legal comprehension. You have kids whose affiliation from a legal standpoint does not match the reality. Landry equates Friday's ruling to the changing views of same-sex families during the 80s and 90s. It was a slippery slope. Look what happened then. I mean, we ended up with trannies in the schools. The law has evolved and homosexual families do exist, are accepted, and it's not actually an issue anymore in Canada. He said it's the same thing here. The law needs to evolve to match the reality of all Canadian citizens, and those babies who have not chosen to be born into multi-parental families, they must have the same protection and same rights as other babies. This sounds like all parental rights, so not baby rights. Landry points out that multi-parent families already have legal standing in other Canadian provinces, including Ontario and British Columbia. I'm not surprised. British Columbia is not a good example of anything. The Quebec government now has 12 months to amend the civil code to match the ruling.
Yeah, I guess it's the right for the kid to call all 3 parents, right? I guess there's some rights there for kids to have 3 parents instead of just 2, right? Because right now you probably have to pick 2, and the 3rd one's an informal parent or something, right? They didn't really tell you the difference between the legislation, right?
As long as I'm not paying extra taxes to Quebec for this. Because it sounds like they're going to need money. Because all of a sudden they have
no, they're not going to need money.
Yeah, they have a few thousand more.
No, they've got money.
They have our money.
They just have to redo the books. No, they've got their own money too.
Graham the Commie Dunlop.
I'll show you that. I'll show you that later. That's part of my segment.